románticamente.
Quiero rabo.
Con una bachatix.
Guys, we are back.
Señoras y señores,
We're not live.
We are not live.
estamos en vivo. Sin Anthony Santos.
Right?
We have the delay. We gotta trust the producer.
Estamos
There's a delay.
vivos.
All right, let's go. Oh, now it's live.
It's
now
live.
it's
It's live. We live.
We live.
We're
We
trying
live,
to figure
baby,
out
yeah.
our lives. Listen,
Live.
if the producer says we're live, we are live.
Now we're
Damn it.
live.
¿Y
No,
quién fue que me
there's a
quitó el
delay.
nombre a
There's a
mí
delay on
hoy?
Facebook. Tú no eres producer hoy, tú llegaste tarde. Usted se me queda callado. se
Mira, a
puso
mí ustedes
audífono.
me van a respetar a mí en este show hoy. Ustedes me van a respetar porque yo estoy aquí dando señas y ustedes se están llevando de mí. O sea que yo hacía falta aquí.
Él está pagado.
Cállese.
Oh, snap.
He said it's not.
O sea que tú me apagaste fue.
Ya. Vamos allá.
Está vestido como un vende droga hoy, no de
So,
chiste.
K-Links has another story. K-Links no trae la noticia hoy. K-Links is our storyteller today. What's going on? What happened to this one particular girl who said... Tell us the story.
Tell us what happened.
So, it's this girl, her roommate in Atlanta, some college or university in Atlanta, or whatever it is, you know.
Okay.
Her roommate basically, I guess she went to go tell her roommate about how her boyfriend had, I guess, maybe sexually harassed her or maybe raped her or something with the roommate's boyfriend.
Allegedly.
Right. And the girl, her roommate and her boyfriend ended up killing her.
Oh,
And putting her in
damn.
a garbage bag and dragging her to the park or something.
Okay.
So, like, my question is, like, at what point do you take your friend's side or your boyfriend's side?
That's an interesting
Wow.
question. Who do you believe?
Because,
It's basically,
you know-
who do you believe?
Yeah, because it's a dark story, so you never really know the truth. You know, you hear about different things that
Yeah.
happen in the world, and you never really know whose intention was what when shit went down. So, like, who do you believe?
I think
that's tough.
we touched on this last week. Remember we're talking about like when your friend tells you that your girl is hot or whatever in the
No, no,
trust-
no, no, no.
No, but no. But
Eso
let
no
me
tiene
tell
nada que ver con eso,
this,
Cristo.
but let me finish my point. It comes to the point of how long you know the person. So you gotta let people finish their point.
Dame golpe
So so this is the thing. You have to understand how long is a friendship, and I don't know. Like you said, it's a lot of factors going into this shit. Like, who do you believe is my girl? It's complicated.
Yeah,
This
it
was a
is
complicated
complicated because, like, let's say, right, me and Kari in a relationship. Boom, we've been together for 5 years, and she just met somebody 2 weeks ago, and I really did molest them. Like, what is she not gonna believe them just because she's known them for 2 weeks?
No, but yeah, it's how long were they together? Do you know how long they were?
I'm not too sure on the date, but if I'm living with you and you're my roommate, you feel me? Like, I feel like kind of trust there
But
because you learn. Like, I've had roommates in college. Like, I went away for college, and like you basically live with them.
Yeah.
Right.
So you build this.
This bond.
Yeah, this bond
Yeah.
to where y'all trust each
That's
other.
what I'm saying.
You know, and everything.
At the
For
same,
example,
Yeah, but will that bond be stronger than your boyfriend that you left out here in the town that y'all been together for 5 years?
So just Bianca Peralta, the question was, at what point do you believe your boyfriend? Do you believe your boyfriend or your friend? But I don't know. Like, I just feel like I think in that situation it was hard because it's like that's your roommate, that's who you live with.
But damn,
That's
to
your
kill her,
boyfriend.
though?
then to kill.
I mean, okay, that's okay.
because of the
Damn.
allegation. That's
But
all the.
back to the question I'm asking though, who do you believe?
Now, why did they kill
I'm
her?
not-
Just because of the fact that she outed him?
I think things got out of hand. Like that whole.
Because it sounded like she was.
Yeah.
Because she sounded like instead of believing her friend, she was protecting her boyfriend.
Yeah, she was definitely brainwashed. Like, see her man being like, listen, she talking about she gonna go call the cops. I can't go to no cops, especially for this. I'm gonna lose, whatever. Whether it was a scholarship, I'm gonna lose this, I'm gonna lose that. Babe, we gotta take care of her. And stupidly enough, she said, let's do it.
That's fucking crazy. I just,
It is.
I can't wrap my head around. I'm trying to make sense of this whole fucking story and I can't.
Man,
I
when
can't.
when it comes down to rape, that's a very, very serious claim.
But let's stick to the
regardless-
original question.
But
Yeah.
regardless of the fact, if somebody's coming up to you and saying something to that sort, to that nature, you have to take that seriously. You have to take that into consideration. Like, okay, this is something very, very serious. Not everybody's gonna come up and say, oh, he did this or he did that to me.
See,
for no
that
reason.
the thing is that it has happened. That's the
But that's
the
what I'm
fucked up
saying.
part
I would
about
take
all of
the
this
me personally. I would take the friend side
because of how serious it is.
because that's a serious. That's a
Whose
serious
side would you
issue.
take? I'm sorry, I was checking the comments. Whose side would you take?
I would take the friend side.
So you would believe that she got raped?
Yeah, because I don't think something like that would be made up just for making stuff up.
But that's that.
I think
see,
that they should-
I don't think.
Yeah,
You can play around with a lot of things. You can make things up
No,
on the fly, but something that's serious about rape.
That's the problem.
I've
So
watched
no,
enough
no,
SVU to
actually,
know that
actually,
people make stuff.
I'm not to disagree
Oh,
because
yeah.
that's the problem. This is the reason why a lot of women. This is why we have the Me Too movement. There's the reason why there's a lot of fake rape allegations out there, and that's what's making it harder for the real victims to come out and say anything because they're already going to be prejudged. They're already going to be prejudged. There's a lot of high-figured people in this country, and I'm not a political show, and I'm not saying anything about anybody, but there's a lot of actors, a lot of politicians
See.
that have been accused of rape, but nobody believes the victims. You
Créetelo,
understand?
¿no?
Because some are fake.
Some are fake.
Some
yeah, you're
look,
right.
look. I'm telling you, it's,
But we just.
but you can't say that nobody fakes a
no,
rape
no, no.
allegation.
Okay, that's fine. That's
And
fine.
but
I agree with that. But at the same time, you're talking about like you said, you have a bond with your roommate. You build a certain relationship. You build a certain trust. You build a certain bond with that person. And this person's coming up to you and saying that she, like you said, allegedly got
What
raped.
we need as
you
a
need
society.
to take that serious.
Well, exactly. What we need to do as a society is start, like you said, people do play around with rape. I don't want to use the word play around, but people do false allegations about rape. But still, we need to take every allegation serious and not dismiss them. You understand? That's the problem.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the problem. So it doesn't matter if you're going to trust in this situation, whether it's going to be me or whether it's going to be a friend. Rape is rape.
Rape
and I
is
think
rape.
that's the point you're trying to make.
Yeah, exactly.
Once you cry rape, you need to investigate and then find out
If the claim was true or not.
exactly, instead of dismissing it right away or fucking murdering somebody.
Because that's just crazy.
You know what I mean? I think it's a, trust me, this topic about rape, it's a broad, it's a can of worms. We need a whole 3-hour show for this. But we got to bring it back down to the original question.
Yes.
Who would you believe? So you say you believe the friend.
Yeah, I believe the
Who
friend.
would you believe, Caddy?
I would bring them together in a room and make them confront each other. Someone's gonna crack.
What would you do?
That's how somebody ended up dead.
They brought her in the room.
They brought into the
together.
room? Oh, so that's...
Yeah. That's not
Then
gonna
there was
work.
probably.
Splu, what would you do? Who do you believe?
Damn, that's hard. I think I believe my partner.
That she was that...
So you
Rape didn't happen.
She should have believed
Okay,
her boyfriend.
so my oldest friend here. We're 20.
I mean-
we've been friends for 24 years, right? We've been friends for 24 years.
We need to, before you continue,
Go for
we
it.
need to scratch that because the whole time, because this is what I said. Like,
It's about friendship. Like, who are you gonna believe?
It's about friendship, right?
Yeah.
I know for 15 years,
Right.
and I've known Sosa for a year. I'm supposed to not believe him if you really try to rape him?
Okay, I see what you're
But
saying.
I mean, the same thing is like it's in college, and like sad to say, shit like
goes
that
down.
happens.
Yeah, we know that.
And
Unfortunately,
like it could be cases where like your roommate is high up as fuck, and your boyfriend walk in the room, and it's like, boom, shit happens. Like in the moment of the second, I guess they not thinking. Then he thought like, damn, I fucked up.
yeah.
Girlfriend come. I gotta save my own
that
ass.
story's just.
But
wild.
like, damn, bro, you don't have to go that far.
Yeah.
that story.
But they keep getting updates on the news about it. But I think who would I believe? I don't think I believe anybody. I'll break up with him, and that's not my friend no more.
That's
That's
fair.
it.
And you would have saved the life if you would have done that.
Yeah, I'm not getting that mad.
Damn, can I take my answer
But
back?
what if he? Oh, sorry, right.
I want to take my answer back. Because I think that's very hard. It's very hard. Look. Today I was put in a situation, right? I was put in a situation in a prank where my friend and my baby mom supposedly got into an argument. That was the prank.
Okay.
And I was really just trying to figure out what the hell, like
going
what
on?
happened with what.
Is there
but-
video? I want to see video.
No, I can show you a voice note later. You can talk about it. I was ready to kill this man. But, like, I love this man. That's my brother and everything. But because of
By the way, we got Chicho Comedy in the building. Say
Yes.
about Chicho Comedy.
We got Chicho Comedy
in the building. One of the best comics in the
Like
city.
my loyalty instantly went to my baby mom. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know who was telling the truth at that point, but as a man, as the fact that she's carrying my baby, I was like, all right, I gotta make sure I find out what the hell this nigga did to my girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's that's why I instantly, like right away, I was like, my partner. But in a situation like that,
Yeah.
like, but right, is who was saying it's a serious thing. Like, why would, let's say, my baby mom come to me and be like, yeah, Chicho tried to rape me,
Yeah.
you know? Like,
So you will automatically believe. See,
I'll
this
punch
is-
both of them in the face. They both getting hit.
But see, that's exactly my point right there.
Because you shouldn't
That's
even
a
been in
serious
a
allegation.
you shouldn't even been in a predicament where
Exactly.
you can even claim rape. Like, what the hell you doing in a alone room with this man? Like, just no.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That is a fucking tough situation.
That
To
is
answer
tough.
my question, I think I'll do what Kay said. I'll just fuck both.
What did anybody in the comment section say? Whose side would they take?
If a friend tells you, then you listen to the friend. Come on. That's what Rob said. And then Yahira said, if you can prove what you're talking about, then we can talk. Same thing with your couple. If he or she accuses your friend of any crazy things, they would be capable of proof of what they're saying.
True.
Yeah, but how can
Fair.
you prove that somebody tried to molest you?
Right.
It's-
That's shit.
That's where the topic is really touchy.
Yeah,
And
that's-
maybe that's something we could
There's ways
bring
of
up on
doing that.
on the next show.
There's ways of you doing that. Because if it happened one time, it'll definitely happen again.
No, you ain't gonna wait
ca-
for it to happen.
No, no,
again.
no,
What you
wait
thought
a
this
minute.
was an episode
No,
of
no.
Law and Order?
no,
You
no,
gonna
that
sit here
is-
and
listen,
call with the camera in the
She
room
was
and
about to
shit?
slam the table.
Listen. At the end of the day, if it happened once, it can definitely happen again. You set up a trap to see exactly.
There's
to
two,
see
there's two problems with your scenario. You gotta stay with this guy who's possibly a rapist,
Hold on,
and
hold
you're
on.
gonna set your friend to be raped again.
I mean, huh?
They should have called the cops. But
Nah,
the problem
so
was that
honestly-
she didn't want to take her to the police in case it wasn't true.
Honestly,
That's the whole reason this happened.
if being in college, if you go to the police, whoever's the accuser being accused is automatically getting kicked out the school.
But does it really matter if you got raped?
You're getting kicked out the school.
To some
as
people,
far
that's
as
not
I know, you're getting kicked out the school, even if later you're the that's
problem
not
that-
guilty.
Simple allegation.
What's been happening with colleges and why people get raped and no
Wow.
one says
See, I didn't know
anything.
that.
Yes.
I didn't know
First
that.
thing
And they
keep it
cover-
the college security. It does not leave this campus unless someone dies. And then there's the issue of the school tries to cover it up, especially if he's an athlete.
Yes.
or a
yes.
frat boy.
Yes.
Frat boy, or
I've
his
heard-
parents have a lot of money donated.
I've heard
So,
of that before.
It's a scary fucking world out there.
Yeah,
That's all we gotta
it's
say.
not.
But rape is a serious thing, and I would always take rape allegations seriously. Like
Yep.
it's just
because it's not an easy thing for someone to admit, especially for.
it's not, and society has made it. Unfortunately, society has made it that way, and
It probably took her a lot for her to even come out and even tell
Yes,
her.
it must.
Being
because there's
Tell her friend.
on this
Tell her,
on this topic real quick, can we go left real quick? Can men get raped?
Yeah,
yes,
I was about to
absolutely.
say that.
Absolutely.
It's a lot
Did
of
you
men
know
that
your
get
Cardi
raped.
B a couple of fucking
Yeah.
months ago talk about
how
drugged
she
men
pop
and-
pills?
how she
Drop
drugged
pills.
guys and robbed them?
My man, listen to me.
The same way you could.
Drugging someone and robbing them is completely
What
different
constitutes
from you forcibly taking a man's penis out of his pants while he's like, no,
What
And
constitutes
men
rape and
can be
molestation?
raped.
that men can be raped?
Absolutely.
Enséñame cómo tú puedes hacerlo. Déjame ver.
Say that kind of party.
No, for real, no. Nah, cause
Shout out to how we do gaming in the chat. How we do gaming. How we
What
do
I'm
it.
saying-
Johnny, de lo mío.
The reason it might sound men can be raped because I can drug you, and then unfortunately your penis will respond whether you want it to or not.
¿Quién dijo? Si yo estoy durmiendo, eso está durmiendo.
No, you
Right,
can't. No, they Viagra, bro.
And
100
There's
grams.
drugs, there's tying you up, there's putting a gun to your head, and there's anal sex.
Oh, yo,
Wow.
sorry.
You just
Damn.
fucked everything up. Okay.
Yo,
I'm
Yo,
just saying.
Ladies and gentlemen, men can get raped.
Absolutely.
Okay, problem
We
solved.
can
Men
get
molested, men can get raped. It's not all. That's the thing, and a lot of men are afraid to come
Oh,
too
they're worse than
because of
women.
that.
Men will.
Oh,
Because
of
of
course. To be honest with you, yeah.
Yeah, it's trust me.
That's a given.
The thing
If
is,
you think women
when
won't
society
come out-
stops making everything a taboo, and when society stops judging, things will get much easier for everybody.
Is that okay? All right. For every man in the room, right? You wake up, right? You wake up, night of partying, your ass is hurting, it's greasy, right? You wake up, there's a bottle of Vaseline right next to you. You wake up, you do not see a soul. You don't see no one. You wake up, you walk out of the hotel room, you don't see anybody, you get in your car. At that point, do you just go straight home, take a shower, and never speak about this? Or do you call your boy and be like, loco, yo creo que a mí me violaron anoche?
It depends.
It depends.
It depends.
What would you do, Cryptic?
No, what would you do? You brought up the topic.
No, I'm calling
Now
everybody.
nobody wants to go first.
No,
I'm calling
I mean,
everybody.
Why would
Yo,
why
you
would
was
I tell
with me
my
last
no,
night?
no.
You was
Here's
with
the
me
thing.
last night?
But
Why would I
they
tell my
won't-
boy
they
for that?
won't
I
ever
just go
tell
to the
you.
cops.
What?
Why would I tell my boy for that? I just go to the cops.
Because
what's my boy
cops
gonna
wasn't
do?
with me last night, bruh.
But what's my boy gonna do? My boy could be a witness, but I'm not gonna tell my boy what happened to me. I could tell the cops, and then if the
First-
cops look for witness, let the cops
no.
deal with that. There's no reason for you to come tell your boy.
No, I'm telling my bro because if my bro was out with me, he might know what have happened.
Thank you.
And
I don't
the
know.
first thing I'm telling you as your bro or your friend is go to the hospital and get a rape kit done to
Yes.
see if there's any semen left in you for DNA.
Yo,
We're gonna
can we go to break? This is crazy.
Hey, yo.
Laceration.
Hey, yo, ladies and gentlemen, this is
Wow.
this is
Before we
our
go to
closing
break,
segment.
before we go to break though, I got a question for
K
what's-
Mosa.
for K Mosa. K Mosa.
en la casa.
K Mosa gives it to you straight. I got a question from somebody. It's a friend of mine. They told me to ask you this. They said they recently started dating somebody, and their baby moms.
Okay.
One of the oldest kid is like 24.
A una vieja, eh.
No, these are mature friends. And then another kid is like 16.
Okay.
She still goes into the house where they live. And basically, she has keys to the house. She opens the refrigerator. And when her 16-year-old is getting ready to be picked up, she just chills in the sofa. So when we come back, we want you to answer that question. What would you do?
madre.
Give it to them straight and see what happens.
Pero esto es una
We'll be
locura.
right back with
I will be
Kari
back
gives
with
it to you
that
straight.
answer.
All right. We are back to Gender Blender on LMP.
Hello, okay.
Before that quick little break, we had a question. So Cari could give us to a straight. So I'm gonna repeat the question.
¿Qué moza?
K Mosa. Oh, yeah, this has been a
Está
long
bueno
night.
dar tu microfonazo.
K Mosa. So one of my friends asked. She recently started dating somebody about 2 months.
Ajá.
They have a 24-year-old son.
Un viejo.
So no, 24-year-old daughter, 16-year-old son. The baby mom still goes to his apartment.
¿Cómo?
With keys. Chills in the sofa. Basically,
Suena fresca.
Muda.
like he's single. Like this was acceptable when he was single, but now she has a problem with it. What's your take on that? Like it's our boundaries being crossed.
Yes, boundaries are being crossed. And I'm assuming since this new girlfriend, your friend, has met his children and goes to his house, that this relationship is pretty serious. So if you're in a serious relationship and you have an ex who's that comfortable, you either have to set new boundaries or reinforce the ones that were there before that have been broken, because that's going to create drama in your new relationship. And unless you want that to end, you gotta decide which relationship is more important. I know she may be the mother of your children, but your children are not 5 or 2. So that relationship with her children can take place at her house or outside the house. If she needs to come over to talk to him, fine, but not let herself in unannounced.
Should he take away the keys?
I would change the locks. If I was his girlfriend, I would change the locks. And
Yeah.
if she wants to come over, she needs to ring the bell like any other visitor and ask to be let in. And if there's a situation where they need to talk,
pero
they
esa es la
can
mamá
talk.
de mis hijos.
That's fine.
Ella puede entrar y salir cuando le dé su gana.
Not unless she's paying those
Usted se
bills.
calla.
I think if
No.
if,
What about for emergency reasons?
Wait,
What if she has the? I
Wait.
mean, what if she has keys for emergency reasons?
why does she need to keep for an emergency?
Porque los muchachos se quedan ahí a veces solos.
No, but they're 24 and 16.
24.
And 16.
Son mis hijos,
Then you can take them to your
son mis
house.
niños.
They can live with
Esa
you.
es mi casa.
No, it's not.
Sí, es mi
No,
casa.
no.
Tú ves lo que está pasando ahí.
Dime lo que está pasando
Él
ahí.
tiene su casa, ¿verdad? Él tiene su casa.
Su
¿verdad?
apartamento,
Su
yeah.
apartamento.
Ah.
Ok, está en olla, un apartamento. So, un apartamento, Fran. La tigra, la baby mama, tiene llave de la casa.
Yeah, she has keys to the house.
¿Qué hay de mal? Nada, eso es mi roommate. Yo le tiro mi mensaje, oye, voy a estar matando. No venga, ya, quédate abajo. Ya.
Yeah, but that's what he said. She just lets herself in. She
Porque
can't
ella es
do
de lo
that.
mío personal. Ella está fría. No me dio mucho muchacho.
You're gonna by yourself. You
Tentísimo.
Ray. So question.
Sí, dale,
I
dale.
don't. Somebody asked, Bianca asked, why doesn't your friend have custody of her kids? Well, my friend is the one that's dating the guy with the 2 kids.
Yeah.
So why? I mean, I'm pretty sure I know why he doesn't have
That's
custody of the
good.
24-year-old
That
because that's the 24-year-old.
question
The
deep.
16-year-old, I don't know what the relationship is like. She was just letting me know that this was the situation. So I'm assuming they might
be
have
choice.
joint custody, and maybe I don't know, but I think the 16-year-old lives with.
The mom.
Boundaries.
Los muchachos siempre son
That.
de la mamá.
That was just a scenario I was given. I don't know. I just read what she
No,
wrote to me.
I mean, you have to have
So
boundaries.
basically, change the locks.
Yes.
Tell her to go fuck herself.
No, she can knock like everybody else.
Would you be cool with her though?
Doing what?
Like,
Popping up like that.
yeah.
She'd have to call ahead or knock. I mean,
But remember, this guy was single for a while before.
but he's not.
Okay.
Okay.
I know I don't have no kids, so some people might think my opinion is shit in this situation. But if you have to go as far as changing the locks, that should not be the relationship you're in, because it should not be to that extent of comfortability between them two. She should not have the keys to his household if he's in a relationship with somebody else. Because what's she gonna do? Walk in one day and you smashing your girlfriend?
Well, I know many people that have, and speaking seriously, like my aunt and uncle. She was married into the family. He has sons with her. They are the best of friends, and no sexual contact. He's married. She's married. They actually huh?
She got keys?
No.
No.
She doesn't have
Exactly.
keys. She
That
doesn't have
defeat the
keys.
purpose,
She
though.
doesn't have keys. But for example, when my uncle goes vacation, it's my aunt that stays with the keys.
But that's a
You
different
know?
scenario.
Oh, for emergency contacts, like,
That's completely okay. But you cannot have another person
okay.
have key to the space
Now,
that you're sharing with your new partner. You just can't do that.
In Cryptid's friend's situation, she don't know what the relationship was before she got in there.
It's
This is the
if they
thing.
were,
So it's like
if
a
they were
detox.
friends, right? Like
Yeah.
they like how my uncle, what gives that, hey, my baby mom got keys, and time me being single, I've been single long enough, and her husband knows that we're just friends. Shit, she got keys to my house. I've told them many times, yo, don't even knock no more. Like, what's you gonna do? See me naked? We got 2 kids. And at the end of the day, there is gonna be a boundary because I've seen it. I've seen how my aunt and uncle are.
But this person
know?
clearly doesn't respect that boundary because she's
No.
showing up.
But
and
that
my thing
goes.
is, what
there's
if what if the new girlfriend is naked? Does she want to be seen by his ex?
she gonna have to ponerte la pila.
I'm just saying, you're not respecting her space. Okay, you and him have this amazing relationship and you're
Agreed.
friends. But what about her? If she doesn't mean anything, then she shouldn't be in your house to the point where this woman coming over is bothering her.
But
Because
that's-
she wouldn't know about it.
that's where it
but
goes
she
in hand.
is there, and this is bothering her. So you're gonna have to decide: do you want to make your new partner happy, or do you want to keep making your ex, who's clearly an ex, because something wasn't right?
Ahí va con lo que tú dijiste. Like, ahí you gotta kind of like reinforce the boundaries.
Boundaries.
Like,
Everybody
hey,
needs
listen,
to
you can't
have
just be
them.
barging in my crib
You can't
now,
just show up and be like,
my girl be
hey,
here,
no.
So what's the verdict?
No, you can't give keys to your ex.
But
All
the
my
thing
friends
is
don't have
that
keys
the
to
thing
my
is
house.
that she
I was-
already has
I was
keys.
yes.
Then take them away. You tell
He
her I'm
can't,
not
but-
single anymore. I need my keys back.
All right. So,
That's not the case though.
but that's her.
Bueno.
So that was
That was
So
my
entonces-
Kay Mosa
opinion.
giving it to you straight.
You can go get an opinion from someone else. I'm
Eh.
just gonna give it to you straight.
But Kay Mosa's
Don't
opinion is
get
what
it
matters right
twisted.
now.
That's right.
You heard?
We're gonna
Kay
be
Mosa, ladies and gentlemen.
from Kay Mosa giving it to you straight. We're gonna go straight to chat with Kay. Kay, what you got for
Ow.
us today, Kay?
Get
So
okay.
This is where the show gets juicy. So if you got any kids watching, turn them away from the screen.
okay.
Well.
So my question is, if you end up having a threesome with your partner and they start seeing the other person, is that gonna be an issue?
Hell yeah.
What?
Obviously, you never had a threesome.
Yeah.
So
No,
it's pretty
I'm
much.
just saying.
It's pretty much. I gave my girl a threesome and she left with the dude.
No,
The
but
fuck?
even if it's with another dude or another girl.
What do you mean if they
yeah.
start seeing if they have a friend?
Yeah. Like just
Friendship-
seeing each other in general, like just chilling, hanging out.
What kind of friendship?
What's the difference?
No.
Well,
There's
yeah,
friends.
there- yeah.
And there's friends
No,
with
no, no.
benefits.
That-
But I'm
that's a
saying
valid
like they're
question.
just seeing each other, like they're just hanging out. You know that they're hanging out. That's it.
First of all, you don't have a threesome.
That's
with
swing.
somebody
That's
you're gonna
that's
come-
swinging.
Okay,
You're
I
swinging.
understand that you don't have
There's
a
a
threesome,
threesome and
and
they're
then
swinging.
hang out. But I'm saying like, what if you
What if-
was in the predicament and the person, your significant other, was hanging out with them?
Nah, they getting punched in the face.
No, you
Even if
can't.
it's a girl,
You can't.
even if it's 2 girls.
Oh, nah. I'm
Oh,
happy.
what's
can't.
the difference in that though?
You can't.
So wait. What
Creep
you're
squad.
saying is Blue has a girlfriend.
Ray.
And he go and gets his other friend, who's also a girl, and they have a threesome, and now his two.
But why are you getting a friend to begin with?
No, but friends are no.
It's-
Actually, can
it
I
already
can I
happened.
say
He can't take it back. He made that
I've
mistake.
been in that predicament, and it's actually pretty dope. But it was because
In what way?
it was because right.
Oh, Ray.
It happened, and they were friends. You get
They
it?
were
Okay.
friends first.
They were friends
So
first.
they were gonna keep hanging
And then
out.
But I'm not saying
now
that they're
what
friends.
you're saying is like we
Total
get a random
strangers.
girl we meet at the bar.
Yes.
or a guy.
In my situation,
No,
alright?
because you're
'Cause I
you're
know-
really showing
I ain't
how
gonna
there's
be
double.
sitting there with my girl
You're
like,
really
"Mami,
showing
mira,
how there's double
Ese va a
standards.
ser el tigre que yo quiero que te rompa el culo, mami.
But
Ese.
you're really showing how there's double standards.
Oh.
Because if she was hanging out with that dude, you would be afraid if his pipe game was better than yours and he taking your
Listen,
bitch.
ain't nobody pipe game better than mine in my world. And that's it. And so I am never going to be afraid of what another man
All right,
can do.
so what if that female takes your female?
I'm going to join.
Her pipe game is better. She don't want you no more.
Then she hit her with a longer strap or something. I ain't got- Shit. That's not fair.
Yeah, I should have thought about that.
I could know I got a good size package, but then she gonna be like, oh, ¿tú lo tienes cuánto? Espérate. Let me get a 16-inch, please. Yeah. Then you come, hit her with the mahapapa, and she's like, look, this girl hit me back here. Like, I don't even want you no more. You just be reaching the guts. Like, nah, but back to what Kay was saying, like, I think it would be a little disrespectful if y'all just, if that person is just for that moment, and then you yourself develop like your own relationship.
So
with this
do a little
person.
contract, do a little verbal contract. Like, yo, we're gonna do this. It's never gonna be spoken about. It's never gonna.
That's gonna be broken in a heartbeat.
Facts.
Verbal contract. That's not.
First of all, these decisions are made while you're drunk.
Exactly.
So
What
You speak
decisions?
the craziest thing
and
when
we
you
having a
drunk or when
threesome
you
or
high.
not.
No,
Forget
because
it.
that's
You know your sober ass ain't gonna be like, you know what?
I've seen people do it sober.
Oh, say the first
You
time you
seen?
was in a threesome.
No, like I've seen them talk about
Oh, the other party was sober. You and your man was drunk. That's what you say.
What she's saying is this was thought out before they actually got drunk and then asked.
they talked about it, like they you feel me,
Some
about
people
it.
actually have conversations
Conversations about
with-
having threesome and pick their partners. And
They had a
you know,
fucking huddle, like,
They
yo,
went
babe.
through a
Yeah.
whole magazine and picked her out.
That's not
the
how
lucky
it works.
contestant.
That's not how it
They were
works.
scrolling through their Facebook feed, like, not that one.
They were going on
Not
Tinder
that
together.
one.
You
Not
crazy?
that one. Not that one. That one.
That's how you get in trouble.
Hey,
How?
By you,
Okay,
you
question.
choosing.
Who picks the girl and who picks the guy?
For what? Oh,
the
so
threesome.
you're doing a threesome with a guy?
No. Time out.
Who picks the girl? Who picks the
Cryptic
guy?
gay.
No, there's people that actually be like, I'd rather you do it with my friend if it's gonna be anybody. There'll be guys that'll be self-conscious, like, oh,
That's what happened in
I
that
was about to
situation.
say. That's why you
So
gotta
you
listen.
had it with another guy?
No, another girl. It was like,
Guy
I'd
would
rather
be
do
like,
it with someone I know.
If you're gonna be, I want you to give me a threesome. Like, I want to choose the guy. Not that I'm just because I feel like I could trust that person. Hypothetically speaking, if I were in that situation, you understand? You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I get it.
Rather
but-
being a stranger that you're gonna go ahead and rock with.
First off, you're supposed to do it with strangers. But
That's what I'm
but
talking
I was
about.
doing it with friends too. That's what I'm saying. Wasn't
no,
it?
no. I'm saying, what if, I was saying, what if?
What if he doesn't? What if he doesn't want to do it with a stranger? What if?
I feel like I'm not gonna put myself in that predicament with a friend.
All right.
Okay, Mosa is in space
I ain't
right
gonna
now.
put myself in that predicament at all. Let's roll it.
Friend or stranger?
Nobody.
Life, baby girl.
I live like
Vamos a coger un viajecito, ven.
me and,
Vamos allí, ven.
that's me and
I mean,
Desaparecemos, muchacha,
like,
mira.
there's no need for the extra people.
Dame presentarte a Ray Ray.
Le traigo a Luis y Ray Ray un cuarto, muchacho, mira. La dejo loca.
No gracias.
but I think it's strangers. That's
Strangers.
who you pick is strangers.
I think that's where the
'Cause
excitement
I've
is.
seen,
With a
yeah,
stranger?
because you don't know them. I think
Yeah.
'Cause I've seen people that I've hung out with talk about having threesomes and they do it,
That's right.
and then next thing you know, your man is hanging out with the girl on his own spare time, and
He making time.
you gotta question it.
She said it. Yeah, keep doing it with strangers. You're going to end up missing.
Well, they have a lot of clubs for that shit. They have a lot.
Yeah,
of,
they do.
I
They got a
dated.
whole hotel for that in Mexico. Like, they got
no,
a...
they're swingers clubs.
Yeah, remember just
That's
like
where
me,
people really go missing.
Nah,
Girl, listen, I was there and it was fun.
I had a roommate once who used to host swinger parties. One of my roommates, when I first moved into my apartment, she used to host swingers
In
parties.
the apartment.
No. She used to host them like wherever they were. Like, she
Did you
invited
go?
me to- Nah, I never went to that shit.
Damn, you should have went.
I
You still
should
got her
have,
contact?
woulda, coulda, right? But
Yeah.
You got her screen name?
That's why
we
you still
go.
got
We'll
both.
keep that off the air.
That's why you still got both your kidneys.
Facts. Some hostile jump off. Well, anybody got anything else to add? Because we're about to wrap up this episode of the podcast.
that time, people.
What have we learned today, kids? Remember, Barney, what have we learned today? What was your favorite part?
Ray.
Ooh, my favorite part is when I walked in and everybody looked at me like I was crazy because I was late.
My favorite part was when Spook was here on time last week.
Wow.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah,
No, but
That
seriously
was
speaking.
amazing.
So Amanda said you would have to see your friend all the time thinking about her screwing your girl. That's weird, and you'll end up hating your friend.
That is true.
Facts.
That is true.
You'll end up probably doing something.
You know, that's interesting. You know, I always thought about that.
Oh,
Like,
I'm sure you
You
did.
imagine, like, you actually, I've always been afraid to have a
So,
threesome
see,
with my girl.
this is why. Okay, sorry. I just read a perfect comment from Rob Jr. and this is why exactly why I said I would rather choose the person, because Rob Jr. says so you can get the strange STD and you can never find the person. Y'all off the chain.
Pero
So,
ven
this is what
acá,
I'm
Robbie.
saying.
¿Cómo te vas a poner un condom?
First off,
Oh, there's STDs you can
There's
catch
STDs
with
you can get
condoms.
with
You
Yes,
in
you
your
can.
mouth. You can get it from
They
the
could have some dingleberry shit hanging off their dick. I'm telling you. People dirty.
Ruined the whole
Dirty.
threesome experience.
You guys
People
got,
are
that's a
dirty.
whole new strain of
Retírate
HIV.
con honores, Ray Ray.
brand
Yo,
spanking new.
Rob,
Hey,
you got the
No,
comment of the night
done.
with that. The comment of the night.
I'm gonna walk
done.
around with a gallon of
With
bleach
Put a
on.
fork in
Dude,
it.
for
Question
real.
though,
And then you
but
can't
I
even
thought-
track them down to go to CDC.
That's where my initial. That's
¿Cómo
where
que
you
sabe
misunderstood my
eso?
question. Like, why would I choose?
But can I make
go
my
ahead. Go for it.
statement
Go for
though?
it.
Nada.
Question: When you get a
No
get
dicho
a
nada.
STD, it's because of the transfusion of
Blood.
Transmission.
no. Well, yeah.
Bodily fluids.
Bodily
Yes.
fluids, yes.
So in my mind, a third party comes in to satisfy both you and your boyfriend,
Right.
not to intercourse. So in my mind, the third person is.
So you think this third person's gonna be doing this for no benefit?
But this third person should know their fucking. Oh.
Fact.
But if you're gonna
Not in that situation.
That's what I'm not.
Yeah, that third person,
Okay.
the
What if
couple
the
is
satisfaction
you.
of your partner is to participate
you ain't-
in this?
you ain't out here,
but
we ain't gonna be
everybody has
cuddling this
different
shit. You
levels
getting
of
used.
what satisfies them.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that from my, I don't know, like he may speak on it because he has experience, but from what I think about it is like the third person comes to satisfy you and your significant other. It's not for you to satisfy them. Your boyfriend might get satisfied. He might have got satisfied out of seeing the two girls making out, but it's not gonna go to the full.
Oh.
So you know you can get herpes.
But
from
see, but this
making
is the
out.
thing. We're talking about.
You can get mono too, but you just fly that shit right over
But
here.
when we're talking about, but when we're talking about threesome, we assuming we're talking about full blow. Nah, we're not talking about. Oh, you're gonna massage my back while my
Yeah,
girl
just
tickles my
tickle my
balls.
toes.
No. When
Nope.
we talk about threesome, we're talking
sucking
about
these
full
balls, all that shit. We going
A full blown threesome.
this.
A full blown
I
threesome
don't
is somebody
participate in this
penetrating
type
my
of shit.
girl.
I'm so.
That's
That's
what
just
I'm.
weird.
That's why I always say that is I would be afraid to do like with another guy fucking a girl, because there's been girls that ask me like, if I give you a threesome with a girl, like you got to give me a threesome with another dude, because at the end of the day that's a fantasy of many women. Now I'm scared, like I'm very, very sure of my pipe game, like I'm very sure.
Okay,
but,
so you're a plumber. We got it.
but if in the middle of this threesome, this dude come and hit my girl and
Le
she
saca
just
un
get
calebo,
the, and she get the shaking orgasm, head rolled back,
Ah.
head on freakazoid like she got an electric shock, and I've never done that. I'm moving from my planet, like I'm leaving the planet. my nigga.
Okay. Let me just
I'm leaving,
add a
like
twist
I'm moving to
that.
Jupiter.
What happens if she decides that what's gonna make her happy is if he gives it to you? What you gonna do?
Oh.
I'm moving to
You
Jupiter.
gonna
Like
sign
what
up
is
for
wrong
that?
with
That's
her?
not fair to her.
Well, you
But
already have.
you know your
You
asshole is
signed
your
up for
G
it. You were like,
spot.
yeah, let's do this.
But look, I ain't ready for that right now. 'cause
But you
I-
signed up for a threesome.
Like,
thought
you know what I'm
about that.
saying?
You
Like,
signed up for satisfaction.
like so sensitive. I will listen. My dick will get hard if you blow on my toes. Like, you ain't gotta be going to my ass for
Ray.
nothing. All right?
Oh my
You
god.
ain't gotta no. You ain't gotta go on my ass.
That's fucked.
Once I start losing feeling and you start licking nipples in my neck and I'm like, no siento nada. Mira, pásame la lengüita por aquí para ver si yo siento algo. Then you know, but in the meantime, shit, I'm here.
Yuri, what
Somebody
up?
said.
Look at
said-
Colonial.
Yo, they got their roasting you on the chest. Somebody said.
Colonel.
He said I look like the Colonel Sanders dipped in Pepto Bismol. Fuck you, Shahid. I know it's you, bitch. Can we block this guy from
No hay respeto.
from further commenting on live streams? Now, what up, Shahid? Shout out to Shahid.
Yo, our producer look como que está pidiendo en la calle.
No.
¿Qué es, Smurf?
Tired.
Guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. It's been a great fucking show.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Regardless of the 45-minute delay, the technical difficulties, we had a great fucking show. It was
Great
a full
show. All the
Be
time.
awesome.
We want to thank you for bearing with us through all this.
Listen,
Yes.
I've been getting some positive feedback on the show.
Me
man.
too. Me too.
Well, they clearly didn't know you were late.
I want to do.
Actually, everybody, you know, my phone's dead, but I'm assuming a few people hit me up like, loco, y el show, que tú y lo otro, tú no estás ahí, está tarde, wow, qué decepción. But
Like us, like when we said
one
vamos.
one quick programming
ahí vamos,
note.
porque qué dime.
one quick programming note. We will be going live only on YouTube. We cannot go live on Facebook and YouTube how we advertise. Reason being, Facebook has a block on dual streaming from YouTube to Facebook. So YouTube will be the primary source of our streams. We will put the link on Facebook and just follow us to our YouTube channel. That's what we will be having the streams from now on. So again, apologies for all the technical difficulties.
Yeah.
If
And
you were expecting us
subscribe so
on
you can get
Facebook,
updates when
and
it's on.
subscribe, hit the notification button,
Subscribe,
and
like, share.
we'll take it from there. And thank you for participating in the chat.
Stay tuned
Send your
next week.
questions.
So you got anything to add?
Thank you so much for all your support, for all your comments.
Yeah.
For coming. We definitely appreciate it.
Yeah.
Mosa, what we got?
Keep the questions coming. I got lots of things to
You
say.
heard?
Yeah.
K-Links. Might
Stay
link
tuned.
somebody. Can you even say that anymore?
No, I don't want to say it.
All right, good. Voy pa' allá.
Dale pa' acá.
Yeah, she look like she's so tired of saying that already.
Oh, that's a thing. We
That's
gotta
a
find
thing.
that.
That's it.
Splu, what you got, my man?
Hey.
As a matter of fact, you got no time because you was late.
Mira, mierda.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been. You see what happens un papá when you
A
come
mí
late.
no me respetan.
Nah, what you got to say, Splu? What you got coming up?
No,
Any
yo
events?
no voy a decir nada ya.
Splu.
Yo me voy.
Splu, you have any comedy shows
you
coming
gotta
up?
leave
Any
your
event?
ass.
Where can we see
Yes.
Splu? Yes, come on, Splu.
Ladies
plug
and
your
gentlemen, listen. Tomorrow, I need everybody to go over to Mina. To Mina Cafe Restaurant and Lounge. We're gonna be having a karaoke show. What's the address over at Mina? 3859 10th Ave. It's right across the street from Meltina for those Washington Heights people.
All right, so if you want to go meet Splu in person, 3859 10th Avenue, that was it?
Yes, sir.
3859 10th Avenue, Mina Bar and Restaurant. Say Splu's name, they'll take care of you. Go have a good time. Sing
Yes,
you some
sir.
karaoke. And don't forget, do you guys still do the Thursday nights?
Nigga, tomorrow is Thursday. Oh,
Tomorrow
no.
is-
No, wait, it's Thursday that we going.
Oh, it's
Ladies
Thursday,
and gentlemen,
you see?
it's Thursday.
Yo, take us out. This has been Gender Blender LMP, where we debate the messes.
Between the sexes.
See ya next
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
Estás escuchando las mezclas de